All right, what we're going to do today is a quick look. So it's not going to be like the regular tutorials. I am going to try to keep it under 5 minutes. Of the features that Microsoft Edge has that you can use in the classroom, whether it's for accommodations or annotating lesson plans. So here I have a speech that a student might have to read for a US history class, and I'm in Microsoft Edge. Now over here, there's, obviously you can look at your favorites, add notes, which is what we're going to look at in a second, and share the page. But if we come over to these 3 dots, settings and more, then we can come down to read aloud. Or you could see that you could also hit Control-Shift-G. So we're going to activate that.
History for the relaxed historian.
Now I don't want it to start there, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll down, and I'm going to again place my cursor here. I'm actually going to highlight a little bit where I want it to start. And let's see how this sounds.
I am certain that my fellow Americans expect that on my induction into the
Alright, so that's kind of, if you look at this button, you can look at the voice settings, and it's not even really a medium speed, but if you have a student that needs it slower, you can control that here. Or maybe even they prefer Mark's a little higher pitched, but it sounds a little more natural than that super robot voice of David, just kind of like the traditional text-to-speech voice. So let's hear how this sounds.
Presidency, I will address them with a candor and a decision which the present situation of our nation impels. This is preeminently the time to speak the truth, the whole truth, frankly and boldly.
And of course there's also Zira.
Shrink from honestly facing conditions in our country today. This great nation will endure as it has endured,
this is what I personally usually
revive
use.
And will prosper. So, first of all, let me assert my firm belief.
So you can see it highlights the word as it's reading it, and it highlights the name that you're on when you're looking at just a website in the browser.
Retreat into advance.
Okay, so that is the read aloud, which I'm sure you can see already. The first time I saw it, I just had that light bulb, like this would be so great for students that need read aloud features, and maybe we can't always get that for them. Actually, it's not just in Edge. A lot of the other Microsoft products have read aloud as well, but right now we're just focusing on Edge. So let's look at adding notes. All right, so obviously you have this toolbar up here, and you can choose colors and size of your pen. You can choose your highlighter, you can erase what you did, add a comment, or even clip a piece out of the page. If you have a touch screen, you could do the touch writing. And then you can save your web note, and this would save it straight to OneNote or something like that, and we'll look at that in a second. So let's start with just like maybe writing. Now I'm using my mouse on my computer, but you could also do this with a tablet that has a pen or an iPad type situation. So let's see, what do I want to, now I'm gonna hold down Control and roll in with my mouse so I can get real close. And maybe I want to underline this line. Okay, kind of good for annotations. Highlighting works too. You just highlight and you can see it's not kind of stuck on the text line. I'm pointing that out for a reason, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then of course you can, I'm still zoomed in, you can see, you can add little notes like, hey, this is a photo of FDR. Oh, I don't want to make that note. Take that up. Okay. All right, so of course you could save it, and you could see it automatically says, hey, let's send this to OneNote. Or you could put it in your favorites, or you can add it to a reading list. So, you just choose where in your OneNote you want to save it and click save. Now, another way you could add notes, and this is what I do to annotate lesson plans. Exit that. I'm actually going to go to print this, but I'm going to print it to Microsoft Print to PDF. Okay, and it's going to take the whole thing, but that's fine. You could select specific pages, but I'm not worried about that right now. So I'm going to come in and save it. Now that went into my documents. Here it is. Only, look, I double clicked and it's opening it in Adobe Reader, but I actually don't want to do that. I actually want to right click and open it with Microsoft Edge. So now we're viewing this website as a PDF. You can still zoom in and do all those things. So again, we have access to read aloud and add notes. The read aloud functions the same, only
it follows the full text transcript of Franklin Delano.
Oh, stop. I don't want to start here.
I am certain that my fellow Americans expect
you
that on
see
my
this
induction
time,
into the presidency I will address them with a candor and a decision which the present situation of our nation impels.
It grays out
this is
everything
preeminently
else
the time to speak
to
the
highlight
truth,
where it's looking
the whole
at. So that's a
truth,
little different,
frankly,
but that could be better for some people when they're doing that on-screen reading. So that's the read aloud here. Adding notes is a little different. You still have the pen, and you can underline as you need to. This great nation. Oof. A little sideways. Erase. Again, I'm going to zoom in. But notice the highlighter is a little different now. It only looks for where there is text. Like I can't highlight this photo of Roosevelt, but it stays straight where I am. Kind of, it follows the cursor. So, and there's none of those little pop-up notes. But when you save this, it saves it straight to the PDF so that you have that as a PDF. That's actually how I do my lesson plans. I annotate on top of the slides provided by the state, and then I just add notes as I need them. And that's just some features that Microsoft Edge has to help the classroom, whether it be inclusion or just simple annotation for a teacher's sake. And having them on a file like this and not just on lots of loose pieces of paper, you could easily get this to a resource teacher for your SPED students, or if you're co-planning with other teachers in your same prep, you just easily all have the same copy. If you have Office 365, then you could put it in a shared folder, or you could even put it in a shared folder of Google because it saves it as a PDF. Basically, it makes things a lot easier, so everybody can access it. And that's it for this quick view. I hope you learned something new. Be sure to like the video if you did. Leave a comment if you have more tips or questions of your own. And subscribe for more content like this. Till next time, guys. Catch you on planning.